This is a test. This is only a test. Am I really awake? Y'all, it's Monday morning, and last night, like every hour I was awake, and I'm like, what is going on? I don't know. The full moon's gone, and then I don't know what's happening, but I went to sleep, then I woke up, went to sleep, woke up, went to sleep, woke up. So this morning I feel like the boys need to slap me to keep me awake. No, don't y'all run out here and slap me. You could bring me a cup of coffee though. It is crazy. Usually I can sleep at least 5 hours. Not last night. It was just crazy. Something in the air, something in the atmosphere. I don't know what it is. A lot on my mind. There's a lot on my mind. And today we're going to talk about what's in the air in North Georgia. What's in the air is a lot of music, and we're going to feature some of that music today. You know, everybody knows that years and years ago, when we first started Heart of the Home, I had put the word out to Barry Scott that I needed a theme song for Heart of the Home. Well, 2 years waiting, Barry just kept saying, I'll figure it out, I'll get it. It just didn't come to him. So I pick up the phone, I call the Barker brothers, and I said, listen, I've got to have a theme song for Heart of the Home. Now think about it. They had never been to Harris Farm. They had never been on set while we were doing a Heart of the Home at that time, and they really didn't know exactly how I operated at the farm. Well, they wrote the perfect song, and I told them, I said, the one thing I really want is when people are like, if you're standing at the kitchen sink washing the dishes and you hear the tune that opens the show, Heart of the Home, you say, oh, that lady's on TV, let's go watch her. I want it to be a catchy tune. Oh yes, the Barker brothers wrote a catchy tune, and now every time I sell something on eBay, and I have a whole lot of stuff on eBay, I send a copy of the theme song from Heart of the Home with it, and then people subscribe to our YouTube channel because they know that we're on YouTube too. So you're kind of still giving back to me, Barker brothers, and I appreciate that. That's what it's about. It's about giving back to each other, to your community, and being kind. This weekend, something happened that wasn't kind, and one of my friends said, you've been busy today, hadn't you? I said, yeah, I have. They said, you let a lot of people have it today, didn't you? I said, yeah, I did. If you can't say something nice, just hush your mouth, my granny would say. And my mama would say, just shut up. But this weekend, we had a loss in ball ground. I hope it's not a total loss because the building was in the restoration stages for us to build, to put a restaurant in there and to have 2 more businesses upstairs. The stage was set, everything was moving forward. It was going to be taken back to its beautiful glory of what it was in the early years of this beautiful historical building. Well, don't know what happened, but about 3:30 to 4 o'clock a.m., and somebody heard an explosion. Don't know what it was because I don't know if the gas was on in the building. I don't think there was any power on in the building. I'm not sure. But the negative Nellies started running their mouths, and oh my. If you've ever seen Sherry mad, you could have seen her mad this weekend because it was such bull. And people were making comments that they knew nothing about. They were sure that the building was going to be torn down. No, 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 no. The design was done, the engineering was done, the restoration had begun, and we were going to put a restaurant in it. We'd already been interviewing restaurant owners that we would like to locate there. Everything was moving forward. And we're not sure how the fire started. We certainly hope that the fire marshal can find out how it started. There were cameras in town, which is really cool. Ball ground does have cameras everywhere, so be careful if you're walking around town and know that. And we're going to talk about that movie in a minute. But I want to remind you, when you think about saying something negative, think about who it's going to affect. Think about how it's going to reflect on you. If you blatantly call somebody something and they're not, you need to think about that because it's going to come back. It will come back to bite you in the tail. So now let's talk about a couple of movies that I watched this weekend. One was really, really good, Warm Springs. You will either love it or dislike it immensely because it shows the poverty in Georgia. It shows the, sadly, the lack of education in many places in Georgia in the 1940s. But it also shows, I didn't know what a really, I don't know how to describe Roosevelt. I don't know how to describe his mood, his commitment to. He gave up everything he had to save and to make Warm Springs, Georgia what it is today. And I think about, I didn't know that much about him. You know, I knew he'd been president. He was president 4 times. I mean, you think about that. But the movie just shows Georgia in the 40s, and it shows Warm Springs when it was really a terrible looking place, but it was a healing center for people. So you got to watch that movie. That's a good movie. But this next movie, I love anything about Hiawassee, about Blairsville, about Jasper, anything that shows the mountains, the creeks, the rivers. I'm just a sucker for all that. And through a little research, somebody found this movie on YouTube. It was free. It's a darn good thing it was free, because the storyline I kind of enjoyed, because I like the history of the Cherokee. The way the pattern followed, not so much. The actors and actresses, not so much. I would say it was a very low budget movie, but the scenery around Hiawassee was beautiful, and that's why I sat and watched the whole movie. This is the building and ball ground that sadly burned this weekend, but this is the picture of how it was to be restored, and that was our plan, to bring it back to, you know, what it was in the past. We hope after the engineers do their homework and check out the building, we hope that it can still be restored and saved. The whole plan from day one has been to restore this building to its glory as you see it right there in the early years. On the back of the building, there's some beautiful marble works across the windows. We hope that can all be saved. The windows did blow out in the fire, but the brick structure is still there. So we are certainly hoping and praying that the structure is sound enough, safe enough that it can be done as the plans were laid. Just a little bit longer to do it, because now the rest of the roof is gone, and so it's kind of starting from ground zero, except that if the brick walls can remain, that will be awesome, because that's the original part. So a lot of people said nasty, negative things. I got very upset, because you don't make accusations and do stupid things unless you know what you're talking about. And a whole lot of mouthy people didn't know what they were talking about. And I got really upset, because you just don't make accusations. You see the building, it had weeds growing all over it when it was sitting there. So I don't know what happened. But now in the movie, the reason I watched the movie the whole time, you see the house, it's not for sale. It is not for sale. But I pulled that up off the internet. That is the reason I fell in love and I watched the movie about Hiawassee. I just loved seeing the scenes of that house. Well, I thought it was a historical house. No, it was built in the year 2005. But it is a stunning piece of architecture, and you've got to watch the movie. You'll get through it. It's slow, it moves slow, and the guy who is the star is a major in the Army, but he doesn't use his intelligence in this movie, because some things he did were just like, did you not see that coming? Did you not see that coming? I was like, oh my gosh, straighten it up. But to see that house, I loved it. Now, y'all know that this week we released the new CD of all originals by that man. That is my favorite picture of him studying, because every time I ask him to do something, he'll say, well, let me study. I'll study it. Let me study. I'll study. So that's my picture of him studying. And I got tickled, because he's waiting now. He's like a child waiting on Santa Claus. He's waiting on the CDs to be delivered. Hopefully they'll be delivered today or tomorrow, because they must be in my hands by Wednesday. So it is an exciting time to see all this original music. It has been remastered. He changed a couple of things in a couple of songs. He added some different licks on some of the guitar in some of the songs. He just made it what he wanted it to be, and y'all are going to get to see that. It is also going to be available thanks to one of his friends, Jackie Dunn, and y'all know Jackie Dunn. He said, oh, everybody has USBs. Well, my car has one, but I never use it because it's down inside my console and I can never get to it. But now, we're going to talk about how you do things. The reason we watched the movie that was done in Blairsville, they did a lot of drone shots. This is how you do real estate with drone shots. And you would never know that this house is walking distance to Lake Allatoona if you walk through the woods. But if you see the drone shots, then you know that it is, because when the family who lived there, the young man was a kid, he could walk over there and go fishing at Lake Allatoona. And you see now, next I think you'll see a lake shot. There's the lake. So from the house, and you see the green roof on the house, you see how close it is to the lake? Drones do amazing things. Now let me tell you something else that does amazing things. Motorhomes are great. They're so much fun. Love it, love enjoying riding around, going places in them. But when they catch on fire, they go quickly. And we have seen lately so many motorhomes are catching on fire. So I've learned something. If you go somewhere in your motorhome, don't take a whole lot of stuff with you, because you're likely to lose it because you might catch on fire. I don't know what it is about them, but we're seeing a lot of them burning up. Is it a safety issue? Is it a diesel leak? Is it, I don't know what happens to them, but I don't want to say they're dangerous because I love them. I love riding around in it. But a couple of weeks ago when we were coming in and the rear wheel brake caliper, caught on fire or started smoking, I'm like, here we go again. We're going to burn up another one. No, it didn't burn up, thank goodness, and it was repaired and back on the road and home. And this is what I call a needle in a haystack. This RV was purchased with just 30,000 miles on it, 30,000 miles, but it had that little tiny TV. Well, it didn't need to make any more improvements on it. The interior was great, everything was great, but we did one little improvement. And this, y'all are all invited to Canton. Guardians of the Jukebox, one of the best bands in North Georgia today. This is September the 5th down at it's the Action Building in Canton, Georgia, the final concert that will ever be held at the Action Building. The Guardians of the Jukebox, y'all love their music. We know it because 5,000 or 6,000 of you show up when they come to Ball Ground. And again, it's a concert you can attend and it's not going to cost you anything. That's what it's about, doing things for others, being nice to others, not saying negative things. You get to go to a concert and you have fun and everybody gets out there and dances and sings along. That's what it's about. Why don't we just be nice? Now, something started in McKaysville last week and the guys were there to film it, and it's called First Tuesday. If Jen were alive, Jen would have been there front and center with her chair with the best seat in the house. She loved the Barker Brothers. She loved gospel bluegrass music. Other musicians were there. Other pickers were there. That's what it's about, loving the community you live in and loving the people in your community. So get out, support First Tuesday, support the folks who are putting on concerts for you. You know, the guys just went up and filmed one in Blue Ridge. We're going to share some of that with you today. Support the communities that you live in and get ready for tourist season. That is the improvement in the RV. That's a bigger TV, if y'all notice that. That's the only improvement that had to be made. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Just one thing and it's done. So, but if if you're a camper, if you like going places, choose a daycation, choose a staycation, but go about 90 miles from home and you'll love it. Now we've got a very, very, very special prayer request today. Most of Ellijay know Dorsey and Charlotte, and they know what Dorsey's gone through. He has gone through kidney surgery. He has gone through losing his leg. He's the hardest working guy you ever saw in your life. He worked like 3 jobs at one time. He was just a go-getter and always doing something for somebody else. His wife today is facing surgery. She's at Northside Hospital, Canton. She is going to face some surgery today that is very, very serious. She was doing great. She was at work last week and her leg kept hurting her and hurting her and hurting her. So beware. Blood clots hurt. She ended up with multiple blood clots. So Charlotte is going to be having surgery today, this morning, will you please call your churches, call your friends, and put Charlotte Kitchen on your prayer list. She's going to need our prayers, because to save her leg and to get her healthy, we need your prayers. We need your prayers. She could heal well and everything could be great, or it could go the other way. We don't know, but we know that prayer changes things. And so would you please say a prayer for her, for Dorsey, for the kids. They've got a house full of kids and grandkids. She works hard to help other people. And sadly, they have had some stuff come up against them. I mean, when I got the news yesterday, I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me after all they've been through? And I thought, this just, you know, sometimes you say that's not fair. Who knows what's fair? You know, we all face whatever, and we come out of it. We do. And prayer changes things. So please say a prayer for them, for both of them, because I'm sure he's going to be worried to death, and he's dealing with the kids and getting them to school and taking care of this one, taking care of that one. And the great thing about Dorsey is, even when he lost his leg, he didn't lose his spirit. He didn't lose his spirit. And I love that. I love that. So remember, and please say a prayer for them, and please do pick up your phone and call your church prayer hotline and put Charlotte on the prayer list, because she's going to need lots and lots of prayers. We hope that she will be home and healthy, and that they can, you know, blood clots are dangerous. We know they're dangerous and often create havoc. So, and the sad thing is, she'd been trying for 6 weeks to get an appointment with the doctor. And don't even get me started on medical care and the failures. It'd be a 3-hour show, so we're not going to do that. But today we are going to share some music with you. We're going to share some of the Barker Brothers from the first Tuesday. We're going to share some of Rhonda Vincent from the Ridge event that happened up in Blue Ridge. We're going to share music, because these mountains are full of music. And very soon they're going to be full of the mountain music of Mr. Ellijay, because the CD and the USB is about to be in my hands. And the cover's done, the inside's done, everything's done, the music's done. We're just waiting on them to arrive, and they should arrive in a day or so. Certainly, I would hope by tomorrow. So sit back. We're going to enjoy some music. We're going to enjoy let's enjoy some fellowship and be nice to each other. Don't say negative things on Facebook. Don't get on there and give your opinion when you don't know what in the world you're talking about. If you know what you're talking about and you know it's the truth, it's okay. But if it's bad news, don't spread it. You know, my granny would say, you know, that gossip will get you mad at somebody in a hurry when you probably shouldn't be. One time, one of her sisters told something to the other sister, and it got back to Granny, and those sisters didn't speak for about a year. And then something happened, and they started talking, and they realized that what started the ruffle wasn't even true. Wasn't even true. So be cautious, be careful, and be kind. And it won't hurt you a tiny bit at all. Just be kind. All right, here we go to some good music.
How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Ellijay. That's with a J.
About 90 miles north of Atlanta, where the Kusawati lay, they come out of the hills to pay their telephone bills in a town called Ellijay. When the mayor drove a shiny 62 Corvette, Slim was in a cruiser with a Cobra jet. What you see is exactly what you get if you come to Ellijay. Hey, Ellijay, a mighty fine place to be. Ellijay, 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 good enough for you and me. Yeah. Apple blossom, baby possum, muscadine wine. Leave all your troubles at the welcome sign. I'm so proud to call a piece of this mine a town called Ellijay.
How you like
run right through the middle of town. And late in the evening when the sun goes down, you can drive through and hear the happy sounds of the folks in Ellijay. Now way back in the summer of '73, the Red Dot parking lot was the place to be. But you could get more than what you bargained for back in those days in Ellijay. Yeah, you could. Ellijay, a mighty fine place to be. Ellijay, good enough for you and me. Yeah, 69 Road Runner, Charger RT, pistol grip 4-speed, 383. Boys, that's the way it all used to be, right here in Ellijay. Ellijay, a mighty fine place to be. Ellijay, don't you want to come and see? Yeah. Trout fishing, skinny dipping, party all night. Praise the Lord, honey, I saw the white picking on a Telecaster Saturday night on the streets of Ellijay. Ellijay, a mighty fine place to be. You and me floating down the Kusawati. Yeah. Apple blossom, baby possum, muscadine wine. I'm so proud to call a piece of this mine. Drop all your troubles at the welcome sign. I'll see you in Ellijay. Ooh, yeah.
Anyway, Ellijay, go ahead, Chief.
Guitar, Mr. Zach Arnold singing a Ronnie Millsap song. Thank you very much. Our paths may never cross again. Maybe my heart will never bend. But I'm glad for all the good times.
If you want to be together, we could be one. One and one have always served. Act up to two, but one and one is only one. When that one is me and you, if you believe in forever, we could start one. If you want to be together, we could be.
There's no mountain we can't climb if we reached one.
If you believe in forever, we could start one. And if you want to be together, we could be one. One and one I've always heard. Adds up to two, but one and one is only one. When that one is me and you. If you believe in forever, we could start one. If you want to be together, we could be one. If you want to be together, we could be
Mr. Zach Arnold. Oh, and Aaron has the guitar, and I'll do a little.
There are many people who will say they're Christians and they live like Christians on the Sabbath day. But come Monday morning till the coming Sunday, they will find their neighbor along the way. Don't love God if you don't love your neighbor, if you gossip about him, if you never have mercy, if he gets into trouble and you don't try to help him, then you don't love your neighbor, don't love God.
Very nice lick on that. You did that. You have to show that to me.
In the Holy Bible, in the book of Matthew, read the 18th chapter in the 21st verse. Jesus If you don't love your neighbor, if you gossip about him, if you never have mercy, if he gets into trouble, and you don't try to help him, then you don't love your neighbor, don't love God.
Fancy fingers over there, Mr. Aaron, is here. They really like that.
I'm having some trouble with my neighbor.
Are you? Very nice when you get on this one. There's
God Almighty, and you've got to love Him. If you want salvation and a home on high, if you say you love Him while you hate your neighbor, then you don't have religion, you just tell the lie. If you don't love your neighbor, if you gossip about him, if you never have mercy, if he gets into trouble, and you don't try to help, then you don't love your neighbor, don't love God. No, you don't love your neighbor, don't love God.
Man, the louder the rain gets. Can you still hear us out there?
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We can't play about our future or our finances. Make moves, set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up, stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Free game to greater things. This is pre-retirement.
Smoky Mountain memories about my home in Tennessee. Memories keep calling me home.
It's the 75th Annual Georgia Mountain Fair, August 15th through the 23rd at the historic Georgia Mountain Fairground. Live entertainment, arts and crafts, food vendors, carnival rides, and more. Join us Thursday, August 14th for our 75th anniversary celebration with live entertainment, a fireworks show, and 75-cent carnival rides. Tickets available at the gate or call 706-896-4191. Visit GeorgiaMountainFairgrounds.com for ticket prices and concert schedule. Thanks to Towns County Convention and Visitors Bureau and all our generous sponsors.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories. Writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Wow, that's all I have to say. Wow, I just got a message and I just got a call. And evidently prayer changes things, because Charlotte said she prayed all night long and said, God, if this is what needs to be done, please, get me through the surgery, da-da-da-da-da. But if it's not the answer to solve the problems of the blood clots, will you please intervene? The surgery has just now been canceled. And so they're going to try something else. If you have 5 blood clots in your system, you know that is dangerous, very dangerous. The surgery was also going to be dangerous. So maybe God outweighed what's going to be the most dangerous and taken her another path. We still need your prayers because the blood clots are still there, but they're going to find another way to deal with them. I don't know how you do that. I know that they try to dissolve them sometimes and you go on blood thinner. I know they try different things, but the veins in her legs are really in trouble. So your prayers worked, her prayers worked, somebody's prayers worked, because she's not in the operating room right now, which is a good thing because surgery is always dangerous. But I told her, I said, hang in there. I have a friend who had a blood clot and they dissolved it with, I don't know how they do it. I guess they do a blood thinner and it just went away. And one never came back, so that's really good. But having 5, that's a little scary. So continue to pray that Charlotte has a great recovery. And if you're praying now and we see this results, prayers are truly answered. Thank you for your prayers. Okay, everybody knows the Barker brothers were kind of like family to us, and they spent the night at our house. We had a good time. We hung out with them. They wrote music about Heart of the Home. They did a song when nobody else could. I talked to so many different people, from Barry Scott, everybody I knew who could write music, and they said, well, we'll try. Nobody could hit it. The Barker brothers and their mama did this amazing song, and we're going to share that with you, and then we're going to share a little bit more of the Barker brothers music. So sit back and enjoy a little bit of mountain music.
I'm going to try to do one now. We have a little theme song, or a little dilly that we wrote for this lady that has a TV show, and it goes a little bit like this.
Rockers on the front porch singing old familiar song. Tractors in the barn and pastures freshly mown. Looking through the screen door, the aroma draws you in to the heart of the home. Lord, memories again. The heart of the home is calling again. Memories in the kitchen, good friends. Recipes together, stories and songs. Making new memories, the heart of the home. The heart of the home is calling again. Cherries in the kitchen, good friends. Recipes together, stories and songs. Making new memories, the heart of the home. Making new memories, the heart of the home.
Good evening, folks. How's everybody doing? We're going to have some fun this evening. We're going to pick for about 30, 40 minutes, and then we're going to have just acoustic jams over the park here. And we'll start winding it down about 8 o'clock, because 9 o'clock the park closes. And that guy in the badge back there told me that. So anyway, just don't want to see him haul me off. No, sure enough, we don't want to disturb the neighbors here close. But anyway, we're going to have a good time. And we want everybody just to tell your neighbor about it. If you know someone that picks, plays, tell them to come out. We're going to do this every first Tuesday. I think we'll have a good time. Let's make it a good family-friendly event. All right, here we go. Real song.
I used to be like picky about what I like, but now I have a TV show.
Keeping us all organized, my wife. Make her welcome, Miss and singing most of the lead and doing all the guitar picking, I guess, this evening. Make him welcome Mr. Jeremy Barker. We got to get this man out of the back here. Come on up here. He's got a joke or two he'll probably tell here in a little while. But anyway, playing the old 5-string, one of the best around. Make him welcome Mr. Jamie Mason.
Thank you, music lovers. And all the way from just down the road on the mandolin, would you please make him welcome Mr. Scott Barker, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, they helped us at the figures a lot. So they helped
little bit. Hey, if you have a good time this evening, get on the Facebook pages of our local cities, Jaysville and Copper Hill, and let them know that you like and enjoyed having this.
Okay, we've got a praise report for Charlotte because the cardiologist had to check her heart out before surgery, and they can't get it done in time to do surgery now, so they're going to try a different route, which is a praise report, because we know when the doors slam on, there's a reason, and that's good news. But I have some sad news, and this breaks my heart because I love First Day Music. First Day Music has just made an announcement that due to unforeseen health challenges and uncertainty about that future, they must, with much prayer and heartfelt consideration, First Day has made the difficult decision to step away from the road as of November 1st. If you've ever heard them sing, and you have right here on the set, we love them. They are amazing. I remember the first time I heard them. They just have the greatest spirit about them. Please pray. And pray that whatever's going on with them, they can get through in whatever way we're going to get through it. But their last sing will be on November the 1st. It's on a Saturday at the Gospel Chicken House in Dahlonega, Georgia. Actually, we've been there. I think we went there to see the Bridgmans. So if you can go in honor of all they have done in our communities, for our communities, how many benefits, how many churches they have been here for us. Please make plans. November the 1st, it's a Saturday night, to be at the Gospel Chicken House in Dahlonega, Georgia, to pay honor and tribute to First Day, because we love their music. We love those guys. So please do that. And again, this is an announcement they just made, and makes me sad because love to hear their music. They're feel-good music. They're feel-good music. You know, there's something about the music in the mountains. It is feel-good music. It is music, you might walk in even a funeral home, and it will help you through the moment if you hear a song that you know your mama or your daddy or somebody loved. That's what music is about. Neighbors, helping neighbors is also what we should all be about, and I thought it was funny as heck because I was mad at the beginning of the show because I saw some crazy people putting stupid stuff on Facebook, and I let them have it. I'm glad I did, but it also, when Rhonda Vincent was singing it, I said, oh my gosh, I didn't know she was going to sing that song. If you don't love your neighbor, then you don't love God. Well, that's the truth. So be nice, be sweet. Take some of that Joe McCutcheon medicine that says just be the encouragement capital of the world. Be nice to people. And when you see something happen, and don't jump to a conclusion and say, well, I bet so-and-so did so-and-so. No, if you don't know what you're talking about, hush your mouth. So, Rhonda's song said it best. If you don't love your neighbor, you don't love God. We have got some amazing neighbors, amazing communities out there. It is an honor to serve you. It is also an honor to know that when I ask you to pray, y'all do it. And I don't know how the doctors made the decision with Charlotte not having seen the cardiologist yet, if they were afraid it was a safety issue. I don't know, and I don't care as long as she's not being cut on today. That's good news. And they are going to try to shrink the blood clots with blood thinner. That's good news. Wouldn't you rather have something to do rather than a knife? Yeah, sure you would. So thank you for your prayers, and continue to pray for Dorsey. He has gone through so much, from the loss of his leg and then kidney and just something going on all the time, but he still has that positive attitude. And I think that's what life maybe ought to be about for all of us, no matter what we're facing. We got to stay positive. We got to stay perked up. So perk up, y'all. If you hadn't perked up enough, go fix you a cup of coffee and that'll perk you up. I'll see you again soon, but don't forget, everything that we do goes straight to YouTube. So your old programs, many of the shorts, many of the clips with Xana, you know that this week we are celebrating that child's 3rd birthday. You saw her right here on the air when she was just 2 weeks old. She's been visiting with us since then. Now that she's 3, the only way we can bring her here is if we hot glue her to this table, because the kid is in high gear. I don't know how we could get her on here live again, but we're going to try it. Try to be good to somebody today. Try to do something positive, and try to stay focused on how can I make the community I live in just a little bit better. I'll see you again soon, where rivers, mountains, and good friends meet.